Good afternoon. We were dealing with applied ethics. Where are your friends? Where did they go? Did they come in the morning or not? No. They're yet to come. Okay. So applied ethics we have seen so far. Environmental ethics and business ethics. Okay. Now medical ethics and bioethics. Medical ethics and bioethics. So it is the study of moral values, and judgments in the field of medicine, and healthcare. Study of moral values and judgments in the field of medicine and healthcare. So it's about the practical application of the ethical principles that we have learned. So it is the practical application of ethical principles, not just to clinical setting. The practical application, not just to clinical setting, but also the history, the philosophy, sociology of the medical field. Right? The application is not just to clinical settings. It's also about what is there in the history of medicine, what is the philosophy of medicine as a field, right? Application of ethics to all this. It's not just about how the doctor should be. It's also about the profession, right? The history of this profession. So applying ethics to this profession itself, right? We have medical ethics and bioethics. Two things. Medical ethics has a narrow ambit compared to bioethics. Bioethics has a wider ambit. Because it encompasses the science behind medicine. It encompasses the science as well as the philosophy behind medicine. Along with the critique of biotech, and other forms of biological research. Like genetic engineering. Yes, like genetic engineering, organ transplantation. So medical ethics is just what? Application to what field? Application to the field of medicine in terms of what? How the doctor should be, how the nurse should be, how should they, practice this profession. That is what it is. But when we speak about bioethics, it encompasses many more things, right? It encompasses many more things, like the research that is happening, whether IVF is morally correct or incorrect. In vitro fertilization, is it morally correct or incorrect? Abortion, is it right or wrong? right? Now we'll take a special case of abortion itself. Whether abortion is right or wrong, ethical, unethical. So we'll just delve into this issue. We'll get to understand how bioethics or medical ethics works. Okay. It is related to medical ethics. What is it? Abortion. Is it ethical or unethical? If it is a threat to the mother, it is ethical. Threat to the mother, that is why it becomes ethical. Completely ethical? Okay, we'll come to that. So it is one of the most controversial issues in medical ethics, abortion. Why? Because one life is pitted against the other. Okay, the question is, you have to say one of the lives. That's how it is going to be. Two lives are at stake. That's how it looks when it comes to abortion. On the one side, it's about the rights of the person. On the other side, it is the life of a person. So it can have, various angles to it. So we'll go into the details of this abortion thing. There are three categories of people. So, three viewpoints related to abortion. The first, some people think that abortion is always wrong. This is one category. Basically, it is unethical. That's it. It is always wrong. Second category, abortion is right. That is ethical. When mother's life is at stake. This is the second category. Third category is like, there'll be a range of situations. There are a range of situations circumstances in which abortion can become morally acceptable. So we can't define it. Based on the situation, we have to make a decision. Okay, these are the three viewpoints, three kinds of people. Is there any person who says abortion is a must? ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता है, right? It cannot be like that. Agreed. So you don't say that, sir, always wrong hai, always right koi hai. No. That viewpoint, you can't even, just because you have been asked for the options. Sometimes people, there are questions, case study questions. What are the possible options in this condition? Under this situation, what are the possible options you have? They will ask you. Also give the reason as to why you choose one of the options. Okay. Now, what are the options that are available to you? You have, let's say the condition is, the case study will be like this. What will you do if your friend is cheating in the examination? This is the case study, let's say. Okay, your friend is cheating in the exam. What are the possible solutions they will ask? What are the possible options you have? Now, what are the possible options you have? Report, not report. उसके बाद? Now, he added one more. Remain silent. Now, not to report. Same है. फालतू में तीसरा आपने लिखा. Why did you write the third one? Just because they have asked for more options. So you created one more option. So in similar manner, people are going to add one more option. Always right. वो तो possibility ही नहीं है. Yes. So you have to be careful when they ask you to enumerate the options that are available, right? So logically they should be, or practically they should be at some point in time have been used. So those become the options. Impractical things, if you add, that is not an option, right? Itna hai. Now, people who are against abortion, why are they against abortion? What is their argument? Their argument is that any action that kills a human being, any action that kills a human being is morally wrong. Any action that kills human beings is morally wrong. Abortion kills human beings, so it is wrong. However, there is a counter argument to it. So what are they saying? Killing human beings is wrong, morally wrong. So abortion is wrong. That's it. There's a counter argument to it. In many circumstances, we kill people. In many circumstances, we kill people. Like, it is acceptable. Killing is acceptable. And even considered moral. Like what? Killing the terrorists, right? Killing the soldiers, that is enemy soldiers, right? Killing the enemies to end a war, that is considered ethical itself. Killing drug traffickers. So what are all these? If killing is wrong, nobody should be killed. But we are doing the killing. Do you say war is unethical? These people should say war is unethical. Who say abortion is wrong, they should also say war is wrong. They should also say killing rapists is wrong. Killing any person under any condition is wrong. That's what they must say. But they say abortion is wrong, but war is okay. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है. Agreed. So that is where the opposition is. Second, abortion sometimes saves the life of a mother. What about that thing? This argument, which says always wrong, fails to save the mother. That is the second. So that is why we can conclude that all abortions might not be wrong. Right? All abortions might not be wrong.
Up to a certain point, it can't exactly be considered as a human being. Awareness.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. There's that angle as well. Now, next, the next aspect. Some people argue what? Most abortions are wrong. Right? Some people argue most abortions are wrong. Their arguments. Most of the abortions are wrong. That's what they argue. Their arguments. That is the second one. It says most abortions are wrong. This is what it says. What is the argument they have? They say that all the actions, all the actions that kill innocent people, all actions that kill innocent people without saving the life of another person, without saving the life of another person, would be considered morally wrong. Okay. So basically all it is saying is abortion is okay, right? See, abortion means you are taking the life of an innocent person, right? Abortion means you are taking the life of an innocent person. You can take the life of an innocent person only in such conditions where the other person's life is being saved. Which means if the mother's life is at stake, then you can go ahead with abortion. This is the argument. Okay. Now, itna hua. There is a range of situations. A counter argument of all the arguments that are there. इसके लिए counter argument यही है. This is the only counter argument you have. There is no other counter argument. So for this one, this is considered to be the most acceptable line. This is the most acceptable line related to abortions today. This is the line this is the line of thought you should have. So whether you support abortions or not, this is the line you are supposed to take. Simple. So there are some other situations or some other considerations people put across when it comes to abortions in favor of abortion. Some say it is the right of the mothers to bear the child and give birth. Okay. It is the right of the mother. So she can decide whether to keep the baby or go for abortion. This is one situation I'm talking about. Second situation, whether right or wrong, we'll see. Okay, whether right or wrong, we'll see. Second, in favor of abortion, some people argue that if it is a girl baby, dowry is required to marry the girl later. So it is a burden. This is the second argument people have. So in some societies, it is considered as a reason for going ahead with abortion. Third, conceptions that might happen as a result of rape. Four, consideration of the trauma of the parents if the child is physically and mentally deformed. Okay. Finally, risk to mother's life. Now, these are the 5 broad situations, range of situations. These are the range of situations. 5 range, 5 na? There are 5. This is a range of situations under which people go ahead with abortion. इनमें से, according to you, under which conditions is it right to go for abortion? Condition 1, it is the right of the mother to bear child and give birth. Of course, it is the right of the mother. However, till what stage? कितने एज तक है? 24 weeks. 24, 26. 18 weeks. So basically, there is a threshold. After that, abortion is considered wrong. Right of the mother exists only till a point. right? Right of the mother exists only till a point. So you just look at the weeks, number of weeks properly. So in this case, this is the argument we have. Okay, fine. Right of the mother, acceptable. However, till a particular point. So after fertilization of the egg, right, till a particular number of weeks, 18 to 24 weeks, somewhere around that. What is the second one? Dowry. Can this be acceptable? This can never be a reason. It is amounting to female infanticide, right? It amounts to female infanticide, which is absolutely not acceptable. Dowry is illegal as well. Dowry is illegal as well. What is the next one? What about this one? It is very much acceptable. It is very much acceptable. However, there has to be a time limit on this as well. There's a time limit set, right? Once the person gets to know the person is conceiving, right? So they have a time limit. What about the next one? Trauma of the parents. What about this? Acceptable? Yes, no? Yes, sir. Okay. Are you saying that if the parents get to know that the baby is mentally and physically going to be inept, they can go for abortion? Depends on the degree of deformity, right? It very much depends on the degree of deformity that might exist, for which you need evidence. Conclusive evidence चाहिए. कहाँ से मिलेगा? The doctor's reports, है ना? Only then you can go ahead with that, right? And finally, what is the one? So very much acceptable. Very much acceptable. So these are the range of situations, and that is why we have range of solutions as well. And some of them are acceptable, some of them are not acceptable. Clear? Okay. There was a case of baby doe. There was a case of baby doe. Case of a baby doe. In 1982, Indiana, US. Case of baby doe. 1982, Indiana, USA. They gave birth to a baby. They gave birth to a baby which was physically and mentally, severe physical and mental disabilities was there. Amongst many other problems, one of the main problems was its throat and stomach were not connected. Its throat and stomach were not connected. By the esophagus that you have, right? It was not connected at all. Corrective surgery was possible, of course. The couple of this kid, the couple of the couple which were the parents, they decided that will not go ahead with the surgery. Okay, they'll not go ahead with the corrective surgery, connecting the esophagus with the stomach, right? Throat with the stomach. They said that we are not going to go ahead with the corrective surgery. So they denied the food, water, basically they denied it. And 6 days later, after the denial started, the baby died. Now, a case was filed against them. Whether what they did was right or wrong. Okay. What do you think? What did the court say? Did it support? the parents, or did it say that what you guys did is absolutely wrong? In a landmark judgment, the court supported the parents.
The way they did it was wrong.
Why? What was the other way?
Indonesia or something.
It at that time. At that time, what is the year? There you go. That is active euthanasia. What is active euthanasia? You cause the person to die. Passive euthanasia is you will remove the life support. Which is considered to be a better one? Active or passive? It is considered passive is better any day. Passive euthanasia is better. In India, active euthanasia is allowed or passive euthanasia? Passive euthanasia. Yes? Done? Okay. Arguments which went in favor of the surgery. In favor of surgery. People who are filing the case, they said that you should have gone ahead with the corrective surgery because it is the infant's right to live. Infant's right to life is involved. Also, the principle of paternalism. Principle of paternalism states that we should pursue the best interest of others. We should pursue the best interest of others when they are not able to do it for themselves. Jaise ki in this case, it is the infant. Right? The kid doesn't know what it has to do for itself. In its own interest, what it has to do, it doesn't know. So who is supposed to do it? We as humans are supposed to do it. And amongst humans, who first? Parents. That is why you should have gone with it. Arguments against the corrective surgery. That is what? In favor of the parents now. Even if the baby survived after the surgery, its quality of life would have been poor because it has several mental as well as physical deformities. In any case, it would have died at an early age. If not after 6 days, it would have died after probably 1 year. Also, the baby's survival, till it survives, would be a huge emotional and financial burden on the parents. Okay, the court's ruling added one more point. The court's ruling added one more point. ये जो argument है, second argument is in favor of the parents. There was one more argument in favor. That is the court's ruling. Said that you are talking about right to life of the baby. The right to life of the baby is not clear because of the mental impairment it is born with. Right? Severe mental impairment, which essentially means the baby doesn't know it really exists even. It is not able to consciously process the information that is there outside. And there is no medical evidence to prove that it is understanding the world here. Right? So there was severe neural damage, brain damage, both zyada. So given this situation, this right to life argument does not hold too much water in this particular case. Because the baby suffered from severe mental impairment. Okay. That's the end of your chapter 1. Yeah.
So natural rights are given. So obviously our baby will right.
No, it doesn't know, right? Where do you get this natural right from? By birth. Why should you get a natural right? By birth. Because we are equipped with what we know as consciousness. That is why. In this particular case, the baby did not even have the consciousness. It would not have the consciousness even as it grows. Why? Because there was mental impairment to a severe extent. Isliye. Okay. So we respect the lives, human lives, because we have the ability to be aware. But the baby is not even aware. So इसीलिए उसको right ही नहीं मिलेगा. At least according to that judgment. You have to understand one thing. A similar case, but a different judge. Right? A similar case, but a different judge under a different circumstance on that particular day would have given a different judgment. So that is why ethical judgments are mostly what? Very, very subjective. Right? Very, very subjective. Okay. A question, previous year question, just write an answer for that. A previous year question. With regard to morality of actions, one view is that means is of paramount importance. One view is that means is of paramount importance. The other view is that ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. Which view do you think is more appropriate? Which view do you think is more appropriate? Justify your answer. Justify your answer. Those are 150 words. 150 words, 10 marker. Okay. So it's a question of consequentialism and contextualism. Pakka. Deontology. Right? So how do you frame an answer for this? With regard to morality of actions, one view is that means is of paramount importance. The other view is that ends justify the means. So you are going to start with the first part of the statement. The first part of the statement is accorded importance by some people. by some people. Which is what? One view is that means is of paramount importance, right? Which emphasizes, that statement emphasizes duty or the act itself. Mahatma Gandhi once said, in support of this statement, Mahatma Gandhi once said, means are after all means. Means are after all means. Means are after all everything. Means are after all everything. First is means are after all means. Means are after all everything. And then as is the means, as is the means, so is the end. Right? According to me, that is you. According to me, or in my view, rather than, see, according to me is a strong word actually, according, right? So it is better in my view. In my view, means are as important as end. Means are as important as the end. Because good ends achieved by evil means do not last long. Good ends achieved by evil means do not last long. For example, it's often easy for public servants to produce quick results through wrong means, like curbing crimes by false encounters. The negative outcomes in the long run would be, the involved police officers may get arrested, and the public trust goes down in the institution. Agreed? Also, second problem would be the criminals may get hardened. Right? So how many words? Oh yeah, 150 words almost. No? Check karo ek baar. 98. Okay. The right means are thus of paramount importance, to achieve the desired end, by following the due process of law. For achieving the desired end by following the due process of law. Hence, we can clearly say, the consequentialist approach or the utilitarian approach, which heavily relies on ends only, might not yield desired results, in the longer course. I think you would have reached somewhere around 130, 140 words now, right? That's it. Okay, done. Next. There's one more question. Explain the process of resolving ethical dilemmas in public administration. Explain the process of resolving ethical dilemmas in public administration. Again, 150 words, 10 markers. Resolving ethical dilemmas in public administration. What is the ethical dilemma? Ethical dilemma is a situation. First, you have to start with that. Ethical dilemma is a situation where decision making becomes a problem. Due to the existence of two possible moral imperatives. Arising a decision making problem arising as a result of, or which is a result of, two possible moral imperatives, neither of which are unambiguously acceptable. Okay, so you have two moral imperatives. When I say moral imperatives, under the moral imperatives, you can write values. Two moral imperatives are nothing but two values. So there are two possible values, two actions, two decisions which signify two values. Both are important. Both values are important. Which one to choose amongst this? See, what do values lead to? Values lead to actions, right? Underlying values lead to actions. V1, V2, action 1, action 2. Aisa hai. You are supposed to make a decision. What will you do in this situation? You say, I will take action 1, which means you are giving preference to what? Value 1. Now this value 1 and value 2, what do we call them? Moral imperatives. This is what we called as moral imperatives. Done. Now, what are the steps involved? 1. Analyze the problem in detail and understand its impact on the individual and the society. Analyze the problem in detail and understand its impact on both individual and the society, or you can write on all stakeholders. This is the first step. Second, collect the information. Collect the information from as many reliable sources as possible. Collect the information from as many reliable sources as possible. For this, proper investigation is required. For which, proper investigation is required. A public servant should not rely on rumors, hearsay, or fake news. Third step. Once the facts are known, find out the moral principles or ethical principles that have been violated in the case. Which all moral principles or ethical principles have been violated in this particular case? That's what you are supposed to do. Right? Next step. Analyze the various options or different alternatives which can be used to resolve the conflict. Next, take a decision following the ethical principles that are most important in that situation, in that given situation, and that is most beneficial. So 5 steps done, right? 5 or 6? 5 steps. Last, implement the decision on the ground. Done. Now words हुआ? Probably in 100 words. It will be more. 120. देख लीजिए सही से. How many words? Are you sure? 70 words. Who said? Who said? A is not counted, B is not counted, right? Others are counted. Okay. You can elaborate a bit more, give an example here and there. That's it. So these are the steps, 6 steps. Done. Next chapter. Attitudes. Attitudes. So you have seen people reacting to the same situation, right? Different people reacting to the same situation in different manners. Yes. People having different opinions about the same person. That also we see. We see the difference in how people see goodness in other people. Some people are like, they see goodness everywhere. Some people see only wrong things everywhere. जैसे कि हाँ जैसे कि ये बोला था कि the world is हाँ the world is bad. Okay. The reality does not connect with the subject. Okay. Some people are happy. Some people are unhappy. Most of the time. You are happy now. The moment you think about the syllabus, you become unhappy. Right? So same situation. For example, test situation. So कल हमने टेस्ट के बारे में इतना बोला तो लोग आए ही नहीं. How you perceive things is very different. जैसे कि William Shakespeare says that there is nothing either good or bad. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Which essentially means what? It's everything depends on thinking. Everything depends on thinking. So the moment you feel like everything is out of order, out of control, one person might think, ये मेरे life में irrelevant है. The moment it gets out of control, think that it is irrelevant, I'll do something else. On the other hand, there might be another person who might think that it gets out of control. The person is like, this is the end of my life. Kuch nahi hoga mere life. Learned helplessness, like a dog. In an experiment, there is something called as learned helplessness, which is one of the main reasons why people might go into depression. ठीक है? Depression का एक major reason है learned helplessness. It is not the only reason, but this is one of the reason, learned helplessness. What happens in this experiment is that there's a setting ऐसा. This is a barbed mesh. It is an experiment in psychology, right? And here there is a wall, let's say. Electric shock supply कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. You put a dog here. I'll not write a dog because it would not look like a dog, right? So I'll not draw it because it wouldn't look like a dog then. So you put a dog here. They put a dog here and electric shock देते हैं. It is standing on the platform. Now this part is electrified, right? This part is not electric. So it is sitting here. Electric shock diya. It started jumping against the walls here and there. It tried all the things that is there. It was not able to get out. Finally, it sat down. Settle ho gaya yahan pe. Shock diya karo. It is like it shivers there, stays there. It does not do anything. Right? Shock aaya, it will just shiver there, stay there. Now, what was done? ये जो barricade है, it was lowered, it was removed actually. It was removed. So after removing, now again, shock was given. What should the dog generally do? It should jump. But the dog did not jump. It was taking the shock continuously. Okay. Despite the opportunity being available, it did not realize that it is an opportunity. It had learned that my life is helpless. I will remain here. What is this? Learned helplessness. So some people are like, they would have tried so many times. Things have not worked. Now they stop trying despite getting an opportunity. That is what it is. What is this known as? Learned helplessness. This is just the attitude. Okay. So how you perceive things and how you respond to it. Okay. It's all about the thinking of the dog in this case. Fine. Attitudes. What will we be learning in this particular chapter? Quite a lot. It would take probably next class and another class to complete this chapter. Let's start with the meaning. Characteristics of attitudes. Components of attitudes. Components of attitudes. Types of attitudes. Types of attitudes. In this, you have general types, specific types, general types and specific types. In specific types, attitude towards weaker sections is one area we'll cover. 2, political attitudes, which is a part of your syllabus. 3, moral attitudes, again, which is a part of your syllabus. 4, prejudices. These are the types of attitudes. After this, we will learn about the functions of attitudes. Functions of attitudes. Formation of attitudes. Attitude change. Attitude change. Okay. Social influence. social influence. We have this much to cover.